In progress. All right. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to our weekly coaching calls. In today's coaching call, we're going to be going over getting back on track after the holidays. It's January, and how to set clear, intentional goals so you can actually achieve in 2024. Okay, so it's our first live back. So it's been a crazy December. I'm sure for everyone it's a little bit all over the place when it comes to eating, when it comes to drinking and all that stuff. So we'll show you exactly how we get back on track, and we're not going to sugarcoat anything. It's going to be very straightforward. We'll give you a few actionable steps and then go a little bit over a few things. So Britlin, if you would like to start, you wanted to talk about
Yeah, I'll start off. So first thing we're going to talk about is just feeling guilty over um or feeling guilty after the holidays if you indulge just a little bit. So it's really important to not feel guilty. So being off track for a couple of days is not going to ruin all of your hard work. The most thing that will probably happen is you might gain a little bit of water weight, which is completely normal. However, that water weight is going to come off really, really fast. So if you stepped on the scale and saw that you were like 5 pounds heavier than normal, don't worry. Most of it's just water weight. So usually that comes off just as quickly as it went on. Um, so if you are feeling guilty, like it's super important to be realistic about this whole thing and think about, nobody's going to be on track over the holidays. Everybody's going to fall off a little bit, and that's completely okay because, holidays are going to happen, events are going to happen, like weddings, vacations, whatever it is. I guarantee you're not going to be 100% on track, and you just need to be okay with that because that's just life. It's inevitable. Things are going to happen. So if you feel like you're starting to get into that guilty mindset, you don't want to get too deep into that guilt because it might lead to you might get into that all or nothing headspace. You might start thinking about I'm not good enough for this, or I fell off track, like I fucked up, like what's the point of this? I can't do this. It's a very slippery slope, and we don't want to get into that mindset. So, hello, Cesar.
it's Cesar.
Oh, sorry. Cesar. So instead of wasting time thinking about, I didn't do this, I couldn't do this, I suck, blah, 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 put that time and energy towards thinking about how you're going to get back on track. So that's just one thing that I wanted to talk about. And the next thing that I want to talk about is setting goals for the new year. So, and how to set realistic goals and how to achieve them. So, the first thing that you're going to do when planning out your goals for the new year is your goal should be specific. You good, Rom? So, anyways, your goal should be specific. And then that way you have a clear direction of where you want to go. So, an example of this could be you want to do an unassisted pull up. So, it's a very specific goal. And the next thing you want to do is create an action plan. So the reason I'm telling you this, guys, is so that way you have these tools for when you're on your own. Because obviously, when you have a coach, you can easily figure out your action plan for how to reach your goals. However, most of you, or maybe all of you, probably won't be training with us forever. Maybe you will, I don't know. But these are very important tools to know. So when you're planning out your goals, just make sure that you have a clear action plan, a clear goal, and then a clear action plan of how you're going to get to that goal. So you got to think about things like what exercises do you need to do? What technique do you have to learn? Those are probably the main ones. And then the next thing you want to do is keep track of your progress. So you got to know how you're going to keep track of your progress. So if you're doing pull-ups, what you could do to track your progress is pay attention to the weights that you're using. If you're using an assisted pull-up machine, or bands, if you're using bands instead. And then obviously the last step on how to execute your goals is to execute the plan and to stay consistent with it.
Just fucking do it.
Just fucking do it. If you have a goal, just fucking do it. Yeah, those are the main points that I wanted to talk about. If you wanted to add anything, Rob.
Yeah, so when it comes to setting realistic goals, you always I asked some of my client, well, everyone I asked, but not everyone answered what are your goals for 2024 for the first quarter. And you always want to make sure you have a short-term goal and a long-term goal. Of course, the long-term goal should be for the end of the year, but that is what we want to say. So making sure we have two goals, one small, and a short-term goal can even be a week long, it can be a month long, it can be up to 3 months. Usually over 3 months, which that turns into a long-term goal, right? So we want to make sure we set those goals, because what's going to happen when you set those smaller goals, we have the long-term goals together. We set it up with everyone. I know exactly what everyone needs to do, but you also need to take it into account to keep your motivation at the highest level in 2024. You want to make sure you set those small goals that you for sure know you will achieve without a problem. So obviously don't make it something like, oh, I'm going to wake up on time. Like you should be doing that already. You're an adult, right? But just something a little bit more challenging. But you can complete it within a month, maybe. So right now, everyone goals should be get back on track after the holidays. That's an easy goal that by the end of the month, you look back and you're like, okay, I got my workouts in, I got my nutrition in, goal, check mark. And you do that and you keep doing that every single month, small ones, even PRs at the gym. Derek is very good for that. He always pushes himself and he's the PR king in the academy right now. He's had the most PRs out of all of my clients. So he's always pushing himself, trying to get better and better and better. Sarah, same exact thing. She's getting stronger. She's one of the strongest girls that we have because she's continuously trying to push herself. So it's very, very important to set those small little milestones that will give you the motivation.
Yeah.
And getting back on track after the holidays, like Britlin said, things happen. We get a lot of alcohol. What I suggest for all of you to do, I do this myself. First 3 months of the year, no alcohol. That's the first thing that you can do to cleanse out everything all the demons that you've had over the holidays. First 3 months of the year, that's the easiest thing. Guess what? It's winter. It's January. I looked at for us that we have some Scottish people here too, but it's minus 27 degrees next week. There's not much you can do until, I know, sad, but it's coming, right? So it's very cold. There's not much you can do right now. So that's why I said, if you're able to do first 3 months, if you're able to do first 3 months without alcohol, that's gonna just set you up so much further ahead in your goals. And then summer comes, hey, let's enjoy some drinks, right? So kind of do like a little bit of a summer prep from just getting away from alcohol and all the bad stuff that we've had, and just let the body cleanse. But the first thing is, of course, we all have the plan, right? You have your workouts. It's just not letting yourself get to the point where you start feeling lazy, which I know none of you have gotten to that point, because most of the clients right on day one have gone back to training right away. And the biggest reason is that because you have a plan. So it's just go and execute. But that's the one thing that you always want to make sure you do, is just what is the next step over here, setting those goals and just getting to work. Just get into work, resume everything. Give yourself, because I always say, I talked to Derek a few times one-on-one, and going on vacation, it's the same thing as when you go on vacation, you come back, you might be 6, 7, 8 pounds heavier or whatever, and that's completely fine. You can't gain that much weight in 1 week. So a lot of that's the same when you lose let's say somebody like, for example, John in his first month with me, I think he lost like 12 to 13 pounds or something. Yeah, party muscle weight. But yeah, he lost like 13 pounds in his first like 2 weeks or something. And he's like, how the hell is that possible? Well, you were holding on to a lot of water weight and a lot of inflammation in the body. So getting back to it, give yourself the opportunity to start progressing again, get back on just the routine. Schedule is very important. And I know, like, most people, don't make New Year's resolution goals because, you should be able to start your goals whenever, not just on New Year's. There is a little bit of deep motivation when it comes. You don't really notice it until you think about it, but there's that January 1st start. It doesn't matter if you don't set goals, it still feels like a fresh start. So use that motivation that you get from, like, you know what, whatever didn't happen last year, it's all good. I'm gonna make it happen this year, and use that refreshment in a way to get super motivated, at least for the first 3 months of the year. Because if you crush your first 3 months of the year, you will be able to nicely maintain throughout the summer and not have to go crazy with dieting and stuff like that, right? So crush your first 3 months like you never have before, and you will be a lot more successful at maintaining throughout the summer, when you're gonna go back to patios, when you're gonna start hanging out with friends again, when you go into soccer tournaments and you're watching the Cavaliers play, right? So it's very, very important to really stay focused for these first 3 months. And routine, get back to your routine. Make sure you still get your morning routine. A lot of people, including myself, when I got, man, between Christmas and New Year's, I couldn't fucking get up. It was so bad. Like it was like 8 a.m. and I'm like laying in there paralyzed. I'm like, why can't I fucking get up? But it was such a weird thing, because you're like, you know what? It's New Year's next week. We'll get going next week. But it happens. It happens to the best of us, right? So just making sure you get back to your routine is very, very important, so you can stay as motivated as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, during the holidays, obviously, like when you do fall off track for a little bit, maybe you have some time off work and you're sleeping in a little bit more. Really use that opportunity to rest and recover. So, for an example, do it if you want to. You don't have to. If you want to go hard, go hard. But um, also slowing down is really important too. And I find that the holiday season is a really good time to do that. So, what I did with one of my clients, Naz, we took a bit of a week off from the gym and just did like walking on the treadmill. I think she did some badminton, a little bit of stretching, and just so that way she has a little bit of a break, and when she comes back into her workouts this week for the new year, she's feeling re-energized and refocused and just ready to take on the new year. So it's okay to take the holidays off a little bit if you want to just like rest and recover, but don't use that as an opportunity to just completely,
Lazy.
yeah, exactly, be lazy and like eat shitty food and be completely sedentary all day. You still want to move your body a little bit and eat nutritious food. So then that way, when you do get back into the new year, you can crush your workouts and not feel like shit.
And yeah, to close this off, we try not to make it too long on the first one, but to close this off, always remember, guys, we actually can't change your lives, right? We provide you with all the tools that you need, but you actually have to take action and use all the stuff that we provide. So yeah, I think it's going to be a very good year for everyone. Everyone seems like is very, focused. I got goals from most people. 75% of my clients, I think 28 clients of my own, and 75% of the people gave me goals, which is fantastic. I got to go chase the other ones. But then that's what it is, right? Those 25% of the people are the people that are not going to get the results, even though I provide just the same value to you as for them. But we want to make sure we utilize message us as much as possible. We would
Ask
love to see,
questions.
yeah, you would love to see some form videos. If you're struggling with your form, start sending us some form videos, especially in the new year over here. Cesar, I'm still waiting for you, my man, to send me some videos. But you want to make sure you utilize this stuff, because it's only going to help you, right? Especially when it comes to, hey, I'm struggling. Like, hey, I didn't make it for the last three, I don't know, workouts at the gym because whatever happened. Tell us when you're struggling, and we'll be able to help you, right? We always go over people's workouts, but sometimes there's a million people messaging at the same time. We might miss or something. So always, if you are struggling, 2024 is for you to ask for help, especially for the men. Okay, I'm speaking to all the men in the academy that are right now. 2024 is your year to ask for help if you are struggling. So with that being said, yeah, I think that's pretty much all that I wanted to go over. It's bad for media, but don't worry, man. That's all good. Whatever you have, even if it's a potato, I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see the videos. But yeah, so that's it, guys. Like, just get back to work little by little. It'll get better. And then, like I said, the biggest thing, use the New Year's motivation to do your like January, February, March as amazing as possible. As amazing as possible. Set yourself up for the summer. Because who the hell wants to be dieting and just training so hard during the summer where you could just, maybe just go out for a hike, enjoy a patio drink, and that's not going to affect it, right? So yeah, that's it. 2024, baby. We're making it happen.
Woo!
Gotta make it happen this year. So
Um,
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say if anybody has any
Any
questions
question,
about
please.
whatever the heck, just drop
Anything.
it down
Doesn't have to
in the chat
be
box. But
related to this. It can be anything. Let us know. Hit us with the questions and we will answer. So we set a few goals. Like we have when we set goals, we do what do we do? We
a
do
vision board.
financial goals.
Oh,
So our goals are inside a vision board. So we do financial goals, we do health goals, we do personal goals, and then we do relationship goals. All of those things tie in together. You can't have one without the other. So if you guys never made a vision board, I will show you exactly how we do it. Like I said, just split it in four. Like again, income or financial, whatever you want to do. You want to do a little bit of health, you want to do personal goals, and that for myself. Well, for the business, we're gonna hopefully hire a new coach this year. So that is gonna be very exciting news. We're trying to get one more person to help us out over here. So that is number one for myself. Well, I guess that's for us because it's our financial side. And then I need to do more functional workouts this year and just fix my body. I'm fucking twisted, weird, all over the place. My spine is just, I just need to really take care of that and then have two successful weddings. For those of you who don't know, we're getting married next summer. One wedding is August 10th.
next summer.
Next summer, this summer 2024. And then 2 weeks later, we're getting married again in Romania. So it's yeah, we're just hoping the best for those two, and that's the big picture.
Thank you,
Thank you
Amar.
very much, Amar. But yeah, those are my main goals over there that I want to make sure I get through, and then always spend more time outside. That's gonna be my goal, I think, for yeah, back to the roots for sure, my man. But yeah, spend more time outside, guys. Oh yeah, get sun when you can, especially if you guys are in Calgary. I know, sorry, Cesar, you're in Scotland, you get no sun over there, but get as much sun. Speaking of sun, get as much sun as possible. But yeah, what do you have? I guess you don't remember your goals because
Of
you
course
haven't.
I do. I made a post today,
Oh, nice, good.
which you haven't liked, by the way.
When I
So my 2024 goal, so I'm just gonna read it off of my post that I made today on Instagram. Thank you, Sarah. See, number one MVP.
like,
Exactly, Derek. Don't miss your significant other's post. I get mad every time Rob
I tell
doesn't
her to
like one
send
of
it
my.
to me. She doesn't send it to me because I get million stuff.
Well, my stuff should be the first one that pops up. But anyways, so for my 2024 goals, one of them is have more gratitude for simple things. So I want to try and have more gratitude this year because sometimes I can get caught up in like minor issues or just minor inconveniences, and then I'm like, oh, fuck this, blah, blah, blah. And then I just get into a negative headspace. So I'm going to try and avoid that and really make sure that I show gratitude for the little things. Next one is train more to feel a certain way and less to look a certain way. So trying to get a little bit away from the whole vanity thing. Like, yeah, obviously it's nice to like have a slim waist, a big ass, but like at the same time, like I want to make sure that like as I do get older, that I can maintain my independence. And then the next one is eat the most nutrient dense foods. So I've been down a couple of rabbit holes lately about nutrition and our food system. And so I just really want to make sure that whatever I'm putting into my body is the most nutrient dense. Next one is like Rob said, spend more time outside. So working from home is really tough. Um because you're stuck inside all day. So I'm sure most of you are stuck inside all day with work. So we really want to try to make sure that we get outside more and get some more vitamin D because that's going to help our overall mood. So that's a big goal for us. And then squat 225 pounds. The most I've ever done is 215. Last year, I actually had the goal to squat 225 pounds, but I didn't do it. I just didn't have the right protocol. I was a little bit inconsistent with my squats, so it just didn't happen. But this year, I have a better idea of what I need to do, so we're gonna try again. Continue growing my online coaching business. Like Rob said, we're gonna try and hire a coach to help us out. And then next one is protect my peace. So, how do I explain this? I can get easily affected by other people's energy, if that makes sense. And like, if somebody's having a bad day, I'm having a bad day. And so I really want to make sure that like I don't let outside things ruin my peace. And then, what did you say?
So that's one. Oh man,
More
that sounds
independent.
like you want to be independent. All right.
um, not all the time. And my last goal is have the best wedding ever.
Yes, that's it. So, all right, guys, stick to your goals. Make 2024 your best year yet, and let's get some amazing results. So that's all we got for now. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you for coming through. Yeah, that's it. Until next week. Next week, we're gonna have the challengers joining our live coaching call as well. So
Oh, wait, we missed a question here. Chazar,
oh,
you
what did you
asked
say?
who's the lazy one between us two if occasion meets.
I think I'm lazier than Britlin
Yeah, 100%.
for sure. Like if when laziness hits me, man, I get just slapped in the face and nothing can fix it. Nothing can, yeah, video games, exactly. Um, all right, that is all that we're gonna go over today. Like I said, next week we have the challengers joining us. We have about, I think by the end of the week, we should have about 12 new people coming through. Other than that, thank you guys for joining in again every Sunday, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Cesar, I have no idea what time it is for you right now, but I know it's probably like early in the morning. That's all for now, guys. Thank you very much for joining in. I'll see you again next week.